Hi friends, welcome to our channel. In this video, we are going to look how can we load static files in expressjs and what do you mean by static files. Actually, static files are files which can be accessed directly from the browser, such as images, style sheets, CSS, etc. And in order to enable static files in your application, you can actually use this app.use express static, and here we can specify the folder name of our static files. By default, express, when you generate the application using the express generator, the public folder will be our static folder, and you can add subdirectories in order to group files inside this. Actually, this line of code is actually we used to set and enable the static folder in our application, and here we have named it as public. So the folder name must be public. But if you want to change this name, actually you can change it to any name. Make sure you create the folder name with the name that you set here. So generally it is a convention to use public as the name for public directory, and here you can find images, javascript, style sheets folders by default, and you can add your own. Suppose if you have in your application some PDF files, you are uploading some files from your application, then you can create some folder here, and all the files which are uploaded to the our application will be saved in our public directory, because usually we don't save files in database directly. Instead, we will be saving the path of that file in a database column, and actual file will be saved in a public folder so that it can be viewed in our application. So here when you look at the home page of our current application, you can see some images loaded here, and if you check the index file, the index.sbs file, I have added some image reference to this file, and this file is actually located inside our public folder images directory. Here you can see that, and this file is actually loaded in our application. So when we reference some files in the public directory, you can actually omit the public name, and you can refer from inside that directory. Actually here we have referenced from images slash then the file of the name file, and if you load that in the browser, you can actually when you check the source code of this page, you can actually see this file has been loaded here, and when you click on that file, you can see the full URL as localhost colon 3000 slash images slash that name of that file. Here there is no public name included in the URL. That is one thing that you need to remember, that because here we have a folder name equal to public, but that public is not included in the URL name. Actually you can reference from inside the public, no need to add public slash images by default. And this public or the static folder setup can be customized in many ways, which is referenced here, because if you want to use multiple static folders, that is also possible in expressjs. You can specify different folder names for multiple static file allocations, and also there is one more thing that is called virtual path prefix, which is called actually if you want to add some prefix to your path which actually physically do not exist in our folder, you can also do that by using this way. Here we are adding some prefix as slash static, and the folder name is public, and then how can we access this in the public URL? Here the static is the prefix, so the full URL will be localhost colon 3000 slash static. The static, actually this folder does not exist in the application project folder, but we have added some prefix using this method, and Express will automatically add that prefix to every files, so that all these files can be accessed using this static prefix URL only. And this is another way of adding or customizing our static files in the application. You can actually generally store CSS images and all those public files, not your code files, in the static directory. Here you can see we have loaded the style.css. The style.css which is loaded in our application is actually coming from the static folder itself. You can see that style sheet slash style.css which is located here, and this file is actually loaded here, that you can see if you check the source code of the file, which is exactly same as the file which is opened in our VS Code. This content is exactly the same in your application, because in a real world application you have to add lot of static files in your application. So one thing to remember is that never add any code files other than client-side JavaScript. No other server-side JavaScript things must be added here. It is only for public path, or the contents will be publicly visible or accessible to the end user. No other code or files will be directly accessible in our application from the browser URL. So that is about the static folders or files in Express application. So we will cover more advanced things from the upcoming videos. So then see you later.